So that was the youngest serving president in the world, Ibrahim Traoré, at the age of 34. You're welcome to His Gov TV. My name is Collins Nanaya Amebese. Now, before we even talk about this man, let's go and listen to a speech that he gave, a very powerful one for that matter, at the just ended African-Russian summit held in Russia. And then we will come back to discuss him.
Russia has sacrificed a lot to liberate Europe and the world from fascism. During World War II, we have shared history. We can say that we are forgotten peoples of the world, be it movies, books. In many ways, the role of Russia and Africa in the fight against Nazism has been forgotten. But today we stand together, and today we're here to talk about the future of our countries and what will happen tomorrow in this new free world to which we aspire for, where there will be no meddling in our domestic affairs. We have shared prospects, and I hope that this summit will provide an opportunity to establish just peace and just world order and relations between our peoples. It's not quite clear to me how come that Africa, that has so many resources, water, solar energy, how come that currently it is the poorest continent in the world, with the highest levels of famine? How come that we have to ask for help? We ask ourselves, but we don't get any answers. We have a chance to build new relationship. Hopefully, this relationship will be for the better to us in order to build a better future for our country. On behalf of my generation, I would like to say that due to poverty, many had to cross oceans in quest for a better life. At times they die, at times they starve. It's hard for them to survive. As for Burkina Faso, it's been 8 years since we have been facing the most barbaric and violent form of colonialism, barbarism. We are imposed this modern form of slavery. We were taught one thing: a slave that cannot rebel does not deserve pity. And we decided to fight against terrorists that impede our development and our struggle. Our peoples decided to take up arms in order to fight terrorism. We're surprised that imperialists, they are called militarized units, militarized groups. In Europe, people take arms in order to defend their motherland. They are called that they say that they are not patriots, but when my grandfather had to take up arms, it was against his will. When people decide to take up arms, there's another problem. The problem is that the heads of African states do not give anything to these people who fight against imperialism. They're calling us armed units, bandits. We do not agree with such an approach. Leaders of African states should not be puppets when imperialists treat them like that. I would like to convey a message to the heads of African states. We need to ensure self-sufficiency of our peoples, of our countries. We need to ensure food self-sufficiency, and we need to meet all the needs of our peoples. Since there's not much time left for my intervention, let me pay tribute to our peoples that fight against all the evil. Glory to our people, respect to our people, and victory to our people.
So that was Ibrahim Traoré, the youngest 7th president in the world, as I earlier indicated. And he has been the interim leader of Burkina Faso, that's the land of upright people, from somewhere on the 30th of September 2022. And he came through a coup d'etat. And, you know, of course, recently there has been this widespread of coup in all the French former colonies, and I must say that these coups, you know, are being carried out because of the French activity, you know, in these of course colonies. We've had a lot of them. Now, when you look at the history of Burkina Faso, you realize that there was also a very young military man, Thomas Sankara, who also came. Also at that time, he was also the youngest, I think 37 or so years, as at that time. I stand to be corrected anyway. But I have a video on him. You can also search in the video, of course, section. And he did so many things, and people really, of course, loved him. Now, this man, Ibrahim Traoré, is also taking an anti-French stance, you know. Since he came to office, he has, I believe, I learned he has sacked all the French military officers, that those are at the base. You know, he has sacked all of them because he accused them of destabilizing the country with regards to their effort in combating these, of course, terrorists. And so he has invited of course, the Wagner, you know, group from Russia. So he is aligning his country, Burkina Faso, with Russia, and then he's taking anti-French stance, you know. And I think, you know, my problem with these men is that they don't last, because normally they are overthrown or they are killed in a very brutal way. We've seen this all throughout the history of Africa, or West Africa, where some of these military men, and of course Thomas Sankara, as I earlier indicated, is a perfect example for such. They will come with brilliant ideas and all of that, but at the end of the day, you realize that these people are killed by the colonial masters. But I believe that this time around, things is going to change. It's not going to be like the old ways that, you know. I believe that the Francophone countries are taking their destiny in their own hands, and that is why ECOWAS is afraid that if something is not done about it, this will continue in all the Francophone countries, especially, and even may even spread to other Anglophone countries, you know. So yeah, of course, I don't know what do you think about this gentleman. You can share your view in the comment section for us, and let's see. And my Burkinabé people, you can also share your view on this, of course, gentleman and what is happening actually in Burkina Faso. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel.